How are you? I hope you are doing well, and I'm also doing well. And today is Jester 4th, 2077. We are still in our lockdown period. I'm here in Destination Educational Hub, which is located at Banyathar, Kathmandu. It is an educational institution which gives online as well as offline courses. And you students, you are staying at your own home, and this is the pandemic time, so many people they are being killed because of uh, the virus COVID-19, and we are continuing our course. So dear students, what are we discussing? We are discussing classification of elements, and in the last class we discussed about chemical bonding. So we mark there as three types of bonds. What are they? Electrovalent bond or ionic bond, covalent bond, and coordinate bond. So dear friends, today what are we going to discuss? Some more examples of electrovalent bond. So just check it out here. Magnesium. What is given? Magnesium chloride, MgCl2. We write MgCl2. MgCl2. This is the molecular formula of magnesium chloride. But how is magnesium chloride molecule formed? Here we have to keep in mind magnesium chloride is made from, which one is metal? Magnesium is metal. Magnesium is metal and chlorine. So in the valence shell of magnesium, there are two. In the valence shell, 2 electrons. In the valence shell of chlorine, there are 7 electrons. So these 2 electrons of magnesium divide into 1 and 1. So one electron goes with one chlorine atom, and another electron of magnesium goes with another chlorine atom. As a result, atomic structure of magnesium will be 2-8 only. Now this is octet, 2-8. 2-8-8. Octet. You have to keep in mind, octet means presence of 8 electrons. Magnesium chloride molecule, one magnesium atom donates 2 electrons, 2 chlorine atoms. That's why its molecular formula is MgCl2. Later on we will discuss molecular formula. So dear students, in potassium oxide, in potassium, the electronic configuration is 2-8-1. Check it, 2-8-1. And oxygen, 2. That's why, how many potassiums are needed? 2 potassiums. Show you the 2 potassiums here. So here is 1 potassium. Here is 1 potassium, another potassium, 2. They donate electrons to oxygen. Here, potassium is electron donor. It is electron donor. And DONER and RECEIBER. One donates, another. So when the bond is formed because of losing and gaining of electrons, then we call it electrovalent bond. So electrovalent bond is found between metal atom and non-metal atom. Keep in mind. Dear students, if I next one, AlCl3, AlCl3. This is aluminum chloride. Aluminum chloride. Here, and chlorine. Chlorine is non-metal. And so aluminum donates 3 electrons to 3 chlorine atoms. That's why the molecule. So make your concept clear. Bond between metal atom and non is electrovalent bond, where one atom donates electrons, receives electrons. Is that clear? Okay, dear students, now what are we going to discuss? Covalent bond. So what is covalent bond? What is covalent bond? Covalent bond is given here. The bond that is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons, two atoms each contributing equal number of electrons to the electron pair is called. Students, what happens in covalent bond? In covalent bond, the atoms share electrons, equal number of electrons. If one atom one electron, another also shares one atom, means they will be sharing one pair of electrons. In another, there may be 2 pairs like this. So one pair is sharing means like this. 2 pairs means 2 pairs sharing of 3 pairs of electrons. So same electrons are taken by both. Okay, sharing. And where do we get this covalent bond? It is found between non-metal and non-metals. In mind, electrovalent bond is found between metals and non-metals. Covalent bond is found between where? Non-metals and non-metals. Because non-metals can share the electrons, and covalent bond line, either single line, double line, or triple line. Single line means each atom contribute or share electron. In double, they contribute 2 electrons. Triple, 3 electrons. Okay, friends. Now keep in mind, what do you say? The compound which are formed by covalent bond? Covalent compounds. The compounds which are formed by covalent bonding are called covalent compounds. See, it's here. Covalent bonding. If the compounds are formed by mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms, then what is it called? Compound. So covalent compounds contain metals and non-metals. Please make your concept clear. Compounds or covalent molecules. Number 1, covalent compounds have low point and low boiling point. They can change into solid quickly. They can change into vapor quickly. Number 2, they do not conduct electricity. Why? Why they do not conduct electricity? Because they are not made up of ions. Charged ion and negatively charged ions. But electrovalent conduct electricity easily. Next one, they are insoluble in water. Solvents. They cannot dissolve in water, but they can dissolve in organic solvents. In last lesson, I said about organic solvents. So, which are the examples of alcohol? Means there are different type of alcohols: methanol, ethanol. Is also organic solvent. Ether is organic solvent. Benzene is organic solvent. In those covalent compounds are soluble, but they are not soluble in water. Next point, they are found in solid, liquid and gas state. Okay, some solid, some are in gas, some are in liquid. And contain metal, because metal does not share the electrons. Metal always donate electrons. Okay. What are the examples of covalent? What is that? Hydrochloric acid. Hydrogen is non-metal. So this molecule is formed by the bonding between two non-metals. So it is covalent. There is presence of covalent bond. Remember, in covalent bond, what happens is sharing of electrons. So let me show you here. Dear students, just mark here. Hydrogen contains 1 in its valence shell. Chlorine contains 7. Hydrogen contains 1, chlorine contains 7 in valence shell. Because of less number of electrons in valence shell, they are unstable. Now see what is given here. The 1 electron of hydrogen and 1 electron of chlorine is shared by both. Shares like this, hydrogen also shares like this. So because of mutual sharing, now what happens? Just see here. In hydrogen there will be 2 electrons, 1, 2. In chlorine there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Means hydrogen attains duplet state, chlorine attains octet state. Why octet? Because there are 8 electrons. Duplet state because there are 2 electrons. So what happened here? There is sharing of 1 pair of electrons. So here it is shown single covalent bond. See here. It represents 1 pair of electrons are shared between hydrogen atoms. So finally what is formed? Hydrogen chloride molecule. Chloride molecule. Dear students, the diagram is given. This is the atom of hydrogen. This is the chlorine, and hydrogen and chlorine. So for hydrogen 2 electrons, it will be in duplet state. For chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here should be 7. 1 is missing in this diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So when there is sharing of electrons, covalent is formed. So covalent compounds not able to conduct electricity, already we discussed. Example: methane, ammonia, water, oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, carbon dioxide. We have already marked. Okay, students? Now, next one. Some covalent compounds. Here you can see in between two oxygen atoms there is sharing of electrons. How many? Two pairs. That's why in between O and O bond. Double covalent bond. Water. See here in water, one electron is there in oxygen. Here is one. Means in between this hydrogen and oxygen, one pair of electrons are shared. And in between this oxygen and this hydrogen, one pair is shared. So what is written here? H single bond H. In between H and O, one pair of electrons are shared. In between this H and O, one electrons are shared. So these bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. Dear students, now you look at here. Here is the next example, methane. Formula CH4. Here is hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. Share their electrons with carbon. See, here is one bond. Here is the next one. Four bonds are there. At the center, carbon, one bond, two bonds, H, H, H. It happens like this. This is also example of covalent bond. So covalent bond means there is presence of, how many types of covalent bonds are there now? Three types. Three types of covalent bond. What are the three types of covalent bond? Single covalent bond, single, double, two line, triple, three lines. Covalent bond. Single covalent bond, double covalent bond, and triple covalent bond. First of all, single covalent bond. What is single covalent bond? Single covalent bond which is formed by sharing a pair of electrons or sharing one pair or two electrons is called single covalent bond. In single atom contributes one electron, another atom contributes another electron, and there is presence of single line between two atoms. And means compounds like molecules like hydrogen, H2, Cl2, H2O, NH3, they are formed by covalent bond. Students, you just look at here one example. Hydrogen, formation of hydrogen. So you can see here is one electron, also one electron. So these two electrons, they are shared here and single covalent bond is formed. Make concept clear. If one, then what is it called? Single covalent bond. Now dear students, let's discuss double covalent bond. What is double covalent bond? Very easy to define. The bond that is formed by sharing two pairs of electrons. Double covalent, two pair of electrons, and double covalent bond is formed on O2, ethane, C2H4, etc. Dear students, now look at here, formation of ethane. Formation of ethane. In ethane, what is carbon contains outermost shell, hydrogen contains one. That's why what happens? And this carbon, the ethene, actually ethane means, I will show you, it means carbon is here, right? And this is of ethane. I am showing the arrangement or sharing of electrons in ethane, but this is not ethene. What it should be? Ethene. So ETHENE. ETHENE. So now I'm going to say what is given here? Carbon atom contains 4 electrons in a valence shell, hydrogen. Now, in between these two carbon atoms, 2 pair of electrons are hydrogen 1, 1, 1, 1. So, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octet. Oxygen only 1, 2. Duplet. So, duplet. Carbon, I'm going to show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is done. And here, hydrogen duplet, hydrogen duplet. So, in between this pair of electrons are shared. That's why double covalent bond is shown. Okay. If 2 pairs of electrons are shared, then it is called double covalent. Next one is triple covalent bond. What is triple covalent bond? Very easy. The bond that is formed by sharing 3 pairs of how many electrons? Either 3 pairs or 6. Such electrons are shared, then the atoms will be either in duplet or triple covalent bond is found in nitrogen, acetylene. This acetylene is also called ethine. ETHYNE. Okay. Now look at here. What is shown? In nitrogen, what is shown? Nitrogen contains 5 electrons in valence shell, 5 electrons in valence shell. What do they do? Electrons, like this nitrogen shares 3 electrons with second one. So there is sharing of 3 pairs between 2 atoms. That's why it is written as triple covalent bond. Triple covalent bond. My dear students, now listen. Presence of 1 pair of electrons and sharing of 2 pairs of electrons, double covalent bond. Sharing of 3 pairs of electrons, triple covalent bond. Covalent bond. And the compounds which are formed by the help of covalent bond are compounds. We have marked their characteristics also. Dear students, let's discuss now what is it? Covalency. Covalency. When we studied about covalency, now after reading covalent bond, we are going to study about covalency. What is covalency? The number of electrons electron contributes for sharing in a covalent compound is called covalency. While forming covalent bond, how many electrons are contributed, shared, that is called covalency. For example, we have noticed hydrogen contributes 2 electrons, aluminum contributes electrons, or nitrogen shares 3 electrons. It means accordingly we have to mark it. Okay, covalency. So, dear students, now in today's class we are going to discuss is non-polar and polar covalent compounds. Okay, polar. So, what are the non-polar covalent compounds and what are polar covalent compounds? Let's see the definition. Non-polar covalent between two atoms of same elements having the same electronegativity in which the bonding is equally shared between them. In the same element only, not in different elements. For example, in hydrogen or oxygen or chlorine or fluorine or bromine. See, I have written many. They are non-polar because they are found or they are the molecules and equal number of electrons are shared. Okay, non-polar. Now students, what is the next one? Polar covalent compound. What is the definition of polar covalent compound? Those compounds where a pair of electrons is unequally shared between two atoms. Unequally shared between two atoms. You keep in mind, if there is the molecule of a non-metal that is formed, an example of non-polar covalent compound, and if there is a molecule of other, that is polar covalent compound. For example, if I write here Cl2, it is HCl polar, O non-polar, HBr. What is it? Polar, H2O. Non-polar, 2. Sorry, H2O polar, N2 non-polar. Okay? So, simply you have to pay attention and you can do things effectively. Students, once let's recap what did we discuss today. We discussed molecular structure of magnesium chloride, covalent bond, covalent compounds, characteristics of covalent compounds, how is hydrochloric molecule formed by sharing of one pair of electrons, how is molecule of oxygen is formed, and types of covalent bond, single covalent bond, double covalent bond, covalent bond, covalency, and polar and polar covalent bonds. Of non-metal element, chlorine, fluorine, bromine, nitrogen, hydrogen, they are non-polar. If there is the molecule of compounds, and that is polar covalent. Dear students, now it's your turn. Now I'm going to give you some questions. And submit to me. Question number 1. Write down. So the molecular structure of magnesium chloride. Molecular structure of magnesium chloride. Next question. Define covalent bond and covalent compounds. Covalent bond and covalent compounds. Write any 4 characteristics of covalent compounds. Write any 4 characteristics of covalent compounds. Structure of following molecules. So the molecular structure: number 1 HCl, number 2 H2O, number 3 ethene, ETHENE, ethene. Next question. Define it with one example. Define differentiate between non-polar and non-polar covalent bond and polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond and polar covalent bond. Did you write? Please send the attached portion so that you can study it, make notes, question answer copy, and after solving the questions, click the photo and submit to our messenger group so that I can find out. Dear students, 2 types of copies. One is for exercise, where you are going to write the question answers. Another is note copy, what you have studied and understood well. Okay, dear students, today this much. We're having our class next day. Till then, have a nice time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Banyatar, Kathmandu. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.